Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariya. This channel is about spirituality and energy. Please subscribe below so we can be YouTube friends. Welcome to my September energy update. In this video, we're going to talk about the up-and-coming energies of the month, the blessings, the challenges, the things that we are all going to be dealing with on a collective and individual level, the things that you should be aware of, all the little intricacies. September is a loaded month, you guys. There is a lot coming through. It is on the more intense side of the spectrum as far as the cosmic happenings. It is one of the more abundant slash eventful months that I have ever seen in my history of doing these readings, energy readings. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to have you select from one of three objects. And based on that, I'm going to do a more personalized reading for you based on what it is that you specifically should look forward to in the month of September. Alrighty, you guys. September, of course, numerologically is a 9. We're living in the year that's also numerologically a 9. So we're living in the 9th month of the 9th year. If you add 9 plus 9 together, you're going to get 18. Numerologically, you shrink them down to one number, that's another 9. There is a whole lot of energy of 9 coming for the collective in the month of September, which makes really kind of like it really sets the stage for the happening. If I were to dub September something specific, I would say it is a month of completions, a month of reevaluating and reassessing your path. It is a month of cutting cords with that which no longer belongs. And it's a month of recommitting to projects, people, and states even, or habits for the next cycle. The month of September is not an energetically easy month, so consider yourself warned. In the month of September, we have the 9-9 portal. More on that later. We have 2 eclipses. We have a total lunar eclipse of September 7th. We have a partial solar eclipse of September 21st. And we have the autumnal equinox. So all of these energies are coming through and doing this one big, large swipe over humanity. And hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hats is all I'm going to say. Okay. The energies of the month are starting somewhat easy. The very beginning of the month, it's a little bit mellow. So it's a little bit easy on the eyes. Some good family times at the beginning. And just in general, very nice heartfelt energies coming through. However, right around the 7th is when we start having a lot of solar activity. So really pay attention to the solar flares. Around the 7th, around the 10th, around the 11th, there is a lot of solar power coming through for humanity. There is a method to the madness of the cosmos in the month of September. Of course, because we are literally passing through the gate of completion, which is going to be the portal of 999. The 9th day of the 9th month of the 9th year. We're passing through that portal of completion at the, kind of like at the beginning of the month, technically, if we consider the 9th the beginning. It is setting the stage, though, for the next cycle, whatever that cycle looks like for you for at least for the next 9 years, right? So a lot of things are being reevaluated. And the way that I want you to think about the month of September is if we were pieces on a chessboard, the month of September picks up the chessboard and literally shakes it. So all of the pieces kind of like fall down. And they don't fall down in a very cataclysmic sense, but they fall down in order to be reevaluated. So as somebody who is the chess maester of your own life, the chess master, you are going to be asked to put the pieces back together on the chessboard of your own life in a very intentional way. There's a lot to unpack in the month of September. I will probably be making a video about the at least the solar eclipse because I feel that that is quite major. We're having the solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. Virgos, if you've been paying attention, Virgos really are all about order and ordering things about and around, and they really like when things are very neat. So that is what you need to know about the energies of the month of September. Individually and collectively, we're being asked in the month of September to reevaluate our path or the trajectory that we're on as humanity and check in with ourselves. Are we happy with our own trajectories in life? And when I say reevaluate, every single part of your life is going to be reevaluated subconsciously. Your relationships, your career paths, your health, etc. So when we live through cycles, numerological cycles, towards the 9, right, like the completion of the cycle, we usually end up with a lot of baggage and we usually end up with a lot of loose ends. Energetically, these loose ends are actually quite heavy to carry and they may prevent us from starting a new cycle. So September is the month where the universe is essentially giving you the bill at the restaurant. And it is showing you what your activities have amounted to. This is not yet the karmic payback, but this is literally you looking at the accounting of everything that has happened. Because of that, the month of September is going to call in for introspection. It's going to require for you to go within and really reevaluate. The question you should be asking yourself in the month of September is, am I happy? Am I happy with the decisions that I've been making? Am I happy with the state of the status quo of my life? Am I happy with my income? Am I happy with my relationship? Am I happy in my marriage? Am I happy with my circle of friends? Am I happy with the level and state of my spiritual development? Or do I feel like I wish there was something better, more different? So that is going to be the month of September. Some of you are going to be dramatically, very strongly called to complete certain things. In the month of completion kind of makes sense. If you're not able, though, to complete something, the universe is going to either ask you to recommit to someone or something, or drop it, right? So that is what the process of reevaluation is all about. Too often, we as human beings go through life on autopilot. Our days kind of like just merge one into another because if you look at your routine, it's very much the same day after day after day, especially the older you get. September comes to challenge the routine. September comes to challenge the things you have committed your energy to. So the month of September is actually really good to start cutting out habits, specifically, that no longer serve you. Are you spending too much time scrolling on social media? Just one example. That could be something that the universe is asking you to cut out of your life. Is there a food, for instance, that's particularly problematic? Maybe that is the thing that needs to leave. So all of these loose ends need to be tied up with a pretty bow. Another example of a loose end could be, well, is there a person that you really wronged recently and you really know that, but you have not found the inner strength to apologize or to clear the air with that person? September may be a month that calls for that authenticity of communication and really owning up to how you have wronged others. Don't leave this to later in the year because the energies of September are good for bringing things up that are the hard conversations. And actually, they're really good for smoothing things up from a perspective of completion and the perspective of being heard, actually, and being understood by the other person. So don't wait. September is really, really good for that. So let's look at the blessings. The blessings is because of how swiftly the energies are moving around. You can get a lot done in the month of September. You can get done in the month of September about 3 times more than in an average month. So it is going to be a month of a lot of progress if you set your mind to it, a lot of forward momentum. And literally, a lot of you are going to be able to reach or achieve certain milestones, bring things to completion that really are required, or finally find the time or the courage for the hard conversation. So a lot of resolutions actually in the month of September. So that's really beautiful. In the month of September, I consider this a good thing. You cannot really ignore the change. You cannot really ignore the happening. You're not going to be able to close the door and pretend you're in your own little house and the world does not affect you, no matter how introverted you are, no matter if you live on the grid. The universe is going to catch up with you. Your own karma, in a way, is going to catch up with you, at least from the perspective of reevaluating, right? So don't be afraid to cut certain people loose, certain relationships that no longer serve you, and like really lean into being honest with yourself, because that's another part that, of the challenges of the month. September is not going to be very friendly to the people that are lying to themselves, right? So as much as you can be honest with yourself about the things that work and don't work in your life. Essentially, the more honesty you bring in, the easier the energies of the month are going to be and the easier the up and coming cycle is going to be. That being said, don't be afraid to dream big in the month of September. It's really good for planting the seeds, not yet going after things though. So we're again, completion. They're showing me a door and the door is being closed. And we are the ones that are going to have to close the door on certain old habits. I'm personally starting two new esquisses of like a year long, which means I'm dropping things. I'm actually dropping things from my consumption habits, specifically around books. This is not something that I expected from my spirit guides, but they're limiting how many books I'm allowed to read in a calendar year. Part of the reason is because my guides want me to focus on creation instead of consumption. So I'm supposed to create more things instead of consuming things. And I'm generally a creator being, and like I love creating, but apparently I've been consuming one too many books. And so my guides had to step in and they're like, Mariya, we're going for this. And that's just a quick example of like a loose end. And my guides specifically been going into September have been very adamant about how I manage my time and really clearing things out from my schedule that are not meant to be there. So expect some of these energies to hit you in September as well. You will notice that you need room on your calendar for things you've always wanted to do. But unless you proactively create room, it's not going to create itself. So yeah, a big process of reevaluation. Let's look at the challenges of the month of September. Ooh, resisting change is a big one. Not wanting to drop things that no longer make you happy. Lying to yourself and really facing the consequences of lying to yourself. That's going to be a challenge. Hard conversations, because you're not always going to be on the initiating part of the challenging conversation. Sometimes those conversations are going to be initiated on your behalf and you will just find yourself inside of a very difficult conversation. Know though that if somebody's breaking up with you in the month of September, especially around the 999 portal, it's because it's meant to be and you cannot really fix a broken cup. And just take it with grace and poise as much as you can, understand that it's for your greater good. The energies of September are going to feel a little bit uneven. That's another challenge. It's not an even kilted month. They feel ripped, almost like inconsistent, yes, but with periods of like shakeups. And there's nothing you can do about it because some of these are due to the solar activity. The sun is coming down to Earth and smashing things. And literally breaking things. And like they're showing me a table with all of these like glass objects on the table, and the solar codes are just like taking all of this glass off the table and it's just cracking open on the floor. So like that kind of tells you that if you are not willing to embrace change in the month of September, the universe is going to do that on your behalf. So be proactive. I've also found that a part of me wants to declutter, which is really like, I know this is not spring cleaning, but this feels really aligned with the month of September. Whatever decluttering means to you, whether your closet is too full and you need to donate certain things, whether your pantry is too full, and again, you need to deal with that. There are some places in your life that are too cluttered. And imagine of like starting a new cycle, like almost like you're a rocket ship that is launching off. When you're starting a new cycle and you're too heavy, you need so much more fuel to even go where you need to go. So it is actually really, really important in the month of September to get rid of as many things that you don't need as possible. Some things that they're showing me right now is clean up all of the apps on your phone that you don't use. Clean up the hard drive on your computer. Like just clean up all of your digital spaces. Some of you may need to remove photos from 20 years ago that no longer matter. They're still cluttering your hard drive. So think about where else in your life there is a blockage, an energetic blockage, because you're holding on to too much physical stuff. That is not good for you. Definitely not when we're going through the completion, because by allowing yourself to release that clutter, the energy is going to start coming back into your life for something that's actually a meaningful change, for something that you really, really want to do. So that's that. Ooh, some relationships are leaving, and that is going to make September really heavy. Heart heavy for some. And some of you may actually not really break up in the month of September, but it's going to be really obvious that that is where you're heading. And so there's a little bit of heartache on that front. So just beware of that. Let's do the 3 objects. Okay, so what are the 3 objects? What does the universe want to bring in? So you have to select one of the 3 objects. The first one is a golden key. Then we have a white swan. That's the second object. And the third one is a red apple. All right, golden key, white swan, red apple. Make your selection. Based on that, I'm just going to do a quick energy reading for the group on some of the commonalities that I'm seeing. Okay, if you have selected the golden key, this one's for you. The golden key are the people who are going to be able to see opportunity where some people see a challenge in the month of September. So for you, they're actually showing me a series of golden doorways. You are going to get either a phone call or some kind of other message from the universe that's going to feel like a nudge to go forward on something. For some of you, it's going to be an invitation to actually go for a dream of yours or something you've wanted for a long time. And there's going to be a short window of opportunity for you to start saying yes to things. And yes, the universe may test you for the strength of your intention. How much do you actually want what you said that you wanted? And you're going to have to take action in the month of September. The good news about the golden key is you have what it takes in the month of September to seize your luck by its tail. It's going to be a very lucky month for you. And it's going to be a lucky month specifically if what you want for yourself is abundance or some kind of unlock or some kind of aha moment. So that's for my golden key people. Another thing that's coming through for the golden key is the divine child energy. So as this world is going through so much mayhem in the month of September and all of the eclipses and the good and the bad and the ugly and everything in between and the emotional roller coaster and everything, you have the capacity of anyone in this group, the highest capacity to actually have a very beautiful month of September where you're going to feel like you're at the right place or in the right place at the right time. You're with the right people. You're with your tribe. And again, it's just things aligning for you. You would notice, though, that's very important for my golden key. So the more even-keeled you are emotionally, the less you allow yourself to get carried away by strong negative emotion in the month of September, the easier it is for you to align with the path of least resistance and shift into a better, easier, more opportune timeline. So that's for the golden keys. The guides are saying seize the moment, seize the day, carpe diem, and don't miss out on the chances. The universe is going to give you out like golden coins, almost like golden chances. But if you squander them around, or if the answer is no, the universe can only help you so much. So this is an opt-in universe. You have to opt into the good stuff, just as a reminder. Okay, that's that. Cool. The second one was the white swan. You guys, the white swan is all about the energies of nurturing. Yes, very mother energies, but specifically, who in your life have you been under nurturing? Spoiler alert, for a lot of you, the answer is you. You have been the child that you have put last, right? Like you have deprioritized certain needs that you have, certain wants that you have, certain dreams that you have been put into the back burner. And the white swan is here to remind you that your dreams matter. And in this new cycle, you're being challenged and you're being forced to change your game, to change how you have been playing your game. For a lot of my white swans, there's a little bit of that imposter syndrome. There is a little bit of the I'm not good enough for what I truly want. And then there's a little bit of that hesitation to act sometimes. You may be capable. You may have everything that any person could possibly need in order to get to what you want. But there's a lot of that hesitation and a lot of doubt. And for some of you, childhood trauma that is in the way. The perfectionist complex. A very strict mom for a lot of you who really needed you to meet a certain criteria. You have to mother yourself, regardless and irrespective of what gender you are. So the white swan is inviting you to dive into nurturing and self-care, and it's inviting you to slow down. The month of September is actually a perfect treadmill, a perfect training ground for you to practice the art of slowing down and the art of ritual. Self-care does not have to be expensive. Self-care doesn't have to be hard. Self-care doesn't even have to take a lot of time, but it has to be intentional. It has to be added to your schedule or your calendar if that is the only way that you can see it happening. And you really have to prioritize you. There is something else coming through for the white swans, which is when you were a kid, there was this big dream that you had. And now that you are an adult or now that you're growing up, that big dream has either been forgotten, put on the back burner, or you just don't believe that you're the person that could get that for yourself. Either redefine that dream or reinvigorate that dream. There is more energy that needs to come into your system, but your system is repelling that energy because you don't want to go for things that you said that you wanted. So it's a golden opportunity. September is a golden opportunity for you to reinvigorate the dream, to call it back into your consciousness, into your being, and it's going to be beautiful if you do. Believe in yourself. If you're a white swan, know that most definitely you have been playing it small and you have been underestimating what you're actually capable of. You can do anything you set your mind to. Because if you pick the white swan, you have a beautiful stream of feminine energies that are seeking to come online that have not even been activated in your body. If you are a white swan, I recommend that you go on the One Mother app, and I have paths, meditation paths. So it's not a single meditation, but it's a number of meditations back to back. And then there is the feminine path over there. You would really appreciate it because that will help you start aligning with the more feminine side of your being. And again, irrespective of gender, that may be the case. Last but not least, red apple. If you have selected a red apple, let's see. Okay, expect the unexpected. A lot of good surprises in the month of September. You will be surprised by what is actually happening. However, the universe is saying that you're going to have to work for it. Unfortunately, my red apples, as sweet as your rewards can be, they're going to have to be earned. They're showing me the hard work needs to be put in before you can get the outcomes that you want. And sometimes you have this perhaps a little bit of a naive desire to just manifest or just that wish to get something without putting something back. And the universe is here to remind you that everything is a balance, everything is an energy exchange. So sometimes if you're not getting what you want out of life, it's because you haven't been putting enough of the ingredients in the soup. So figure out where you've actually been pulling back, consciously or subconsciously, where you have been underinvesting in yourself or underinvesting in your projects or underinvesting in your relationships. There's a little bit of that energy with my red apples of like taking things for granted. So the way you counteract this taking things for granted energy that is actually an energy of lack down the road, like it starts with you taking things for granted. It usually ends up with the downward spiral of losing things. And if you don't want to end up there, the way you counteract that frequency is through gratitude. So gratitude journals all the way for you. List 12 things every day that you're grateful for, and you cannot repeat things more often than once a week. How about that for a challenge for you? What else is coming for my red apples? Ooh, for some of you, romance is in the books. So if you're looking for that, it's going to be very, very, actually, ironically, opportune timing for you, while other people may be, or on the opposite side of the spectrum for my red apples, romance could be happening. I'm not saying it's optimal romance. You may meet somebody who is absolutely not who you thought you were looking for. So that's kind of like the interesting part about my red apples. Something else needs to be completed bad for you. For my red apples specifically, there's something in the way of you moving to that next stage. And this is something that needs to be completed. Or for some of you, if there is something that you've said for years you wanted to do, like I want to write the book, or I want to quit my job, or change industries, or like, I don't know, I want to get divorced, or like whatever you've been saying to yourself or to others for years, like I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, but then nothing has happened. The universe is like, okay, enough. Either stop talking about it and actually recommit to the fact that you're not getting a divorce, actually. Like, either take your words back or act upon it. And so there's the universe is not going to have too much patience for my red apples. The universe is going to want you to commit one way or another, and commit and start taking action. So just like a little warning bell, right? The situation is not critical yet, but just wanted to let you know that it could become that, right? Overall, when we are in a corridor of eclipses, and that's for everybody, um, it it is a challenging time. And it is a challenging time because the pace of change is about 10 times higher than it normally is for human beings. So we are in this pressure cooker. And in the pressure cooker, there's no time to snooze, right? So we're all being tested, uh, you know, alongside a range of things, right? Along a spectrum. We're being tested for the strength of our commitments, for our integrity. We're being tested around how much our dreams actually mean to us. And so allow yourself in the month of September to reevaluate your life and leave no stone unturned. So rarely do we actually get a moment to breathe and pause and reevaluate and understand that just because it has been done this way or you're used to doing it that way does not mean it's the right way or it's the right way for you going forward. So don't be afraid to cut things out, to cut the cords. By the way, cord cutting. Really, really good time to cut the cords with old relationships. All of these exes that are hanging out in your auric field, you may want to cut those cords because if you don't, you may not be able to attract that new relationship or just a new energy, whatever that looks like in your life. Maybe it's a new job, but because your energy is still too engaged with the old, it may still be holding you back. That's that about the month of September. You guys, the portal of 999 is going to be gangbusters. So stay tuned for that video. Please click subscribe if you like this video. There's a whole lot more content coming from this girl right here. One thing I wanted to let you know that I'm super, super stoked about. So some of you guys know that on my website, this is Mariya.com, I'm now offering private sessions. And yes, you can book a session with me, but that's beside the point. You can book a session with some of the people that are personally vetted by me. So now I have coaches, I have healers on this is Mariya.com, and I am bringing a new person that I wanted to tell you about. Her name is Aurora. I have met Aurora years back, like 4 years, 5 years back, during my travels to Sedona. Sedona is only about one of my most favorite places on earth. So I asked my friend if I only have time to meet one healer in the entire Sedona area, who do I meet? And he told me Aurora. And so we met, and it was like an instant remembrance of past lives and everything. And both myself and my husband got sessions from Aurora individually and collectively, and she's the real deal. She's a galactic channel. She has one of the strongest channeling abilities that I have come across. She's done my galactic blueprint. We looked into past lives, and she really does connect to so many wonderful, benevolent beings all throughout the Milky Way galaxy. And I really trust her channel, her message, her judgment. Her readings are going to be available through my platform, thisismariya.com. As you guys know, I only bring you the creme de la creme. I only bring you the people that I myself have paid to get their services, or like I trust them with my life. So that is Aurora. Do check her page out. She is amazing. She is just such a bright light. I love her. And then, of course, I have two other beautiful healers on there, Marina and Katya. You can get an oracle reading done by Katya. She was a Delphi oracle on multiple occasions in past lives, if I do say so myself, so she's wonderful. And Marina is just such a beautiful heart healer. She helped me activate my etheric wings. You are in good hands with them. That's all I wanted to tell you today. Thank you guys so much. This has been longer than I originally expected. Buckle up for the months of September. Tell me in the comments how you've been feeling, if you're sensing the energies, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye, darlings.